Hello, Lance here again from streetbishops.com, and this video series is on how to start your ministry, okay? And we're taking this all the way from when God places it on your heart, all the way through what type of structure you want and who you're going to minister to and business plans and everything else. So this is the whole series, and this is this particular video here is on building your first business plan. And so let me be very clear. When you hear someone say, write a business plan, it can sound very hard and technical. Like, oh my gosh, I need to find an example of a business plan somewhere, et cetera, et cetera. That, I'm not talking about some complex market research business plan. I'm talking about a basic set of numbers so that you can become accustomed at developing budgets and how to check your budget against what reality was, so that you start off with the small plans for the smaller activities. Then by the time it comes for you to buy a building or to buy a vehicle or do something, and the person loaning you the money says, can I see your business plan? You have already done 15 of them, and you can just sort of mash them all together and come up with a really great looking document that has a lot of the information they're looking for. So I'm talking about starting with a small basic plan, right? And basically that's a budget. And it says, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it. This is how much it's gonna cost. Now we've done it. And then you go back to the business plan afterward and you do an after action assessment, right? So let me give you an example of what you need to get accustomed to writing and to write it first. So you're going to have a document. First paragraph is going to be, what are you doing? So we're going to take as the example, I had talked in other videos about the JSTOR down in Daytona, where there's folks there that look like they're struggling and they're hungry. And so the ministry that we're going to use as the example is taking them a sandwich a couple times a week, okay? Now, in my business plan, I'm going to say the plan is this. The goal is to develop relationships so I can speak to them about Christ. The way I'm going to do it is to feed them. The way I'm going to feed them is I'm going to buy sandwiches and put notes. I'm going to buy $1 burgers from Burger King, and I'm going to and get bottles of water, and I'm going to put a note in each bag that says, I love you, God loves you, I'm giving you the sandwich because this is what I do to obey Christ, and that if you'd like to know more about living a life for Christ, please give me a call, okay? Now, you should have a handwritten note in each bag. So before we launch off and do it, before we go down to McDonald's and buy it, we want to do something. Now, and it's going to make more sense after I get done here of why we do this. You're going to write down a budget, okay? So there's going to be hamburgers, $1 a piece. They're already in a bag. There's going to be your letters, which still put down a price, put 1 penny for each letter that you put in, or 5 cents for each card, or whatever you want to put in the bag. Gasoline for the day, $25. Anything else that should be in there, okay? That you're going to do. Your bottled water, so it's 25 cents for a bottle of water. And napkins, 5 cents for a napkin. And you put on there how much each one of these are going to be. And so you're going to say, you know what, for our first time out, right, our first mission out here, we are going to hand out 25 bags, okay? So that's 25 bags of hamburgers with 25 notes and 25 napkins and 25 bottles of water, and you're going to count for your gasoline to go out there. And so that's it, right? That's your budget. And so you write that all down, and you're looking to have 1 car participate, blah, blah, blah. And you may give the people who are doing it, you may want to pay yourselves $10 each for your time that day, right? Or do it for volunteer. But I'm saying if you're going to pay yourself $10 to do it, then put on there $10 for delivery services. Then you've got that. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go out on that day, whatever day of the week it is, right? And you're going to go to Burger King and you're going to buy the 25 burgers, 1 in each bag. You're already going to have your notes written. You're going to put your notes in, your napkins in. You're going to have your bottle of water. And then you're going to go to the JSTOR and you're going to park out there, and you put down your tailgate or open up your trunk, and you have a little sign that just says, come get a sandwich. That's all it's going to say is come get a sandwich. You're not going to say Jesus says come get a sandwich or save your soul or, Jesus for the hungry. You're going to say come get a sandwich. Right? You're also going to want to have a tablet, a yellow pad, a legal pad on a clipboard, because if the folks are willing to, you'd like them to write down their name and their phone number if they have a phone. So that way you can maintain contact with them if they don't contact you. So you go out there and you just say, and now you can have a shirt on. I love shirts that say, I'm trying to think what it could say. You don't want to be too rude, right? But this is where you can have your messaging. If you want to have Jesus messaging, right? It can say, Jesus sent me. That's all. Jesus sent me. That's all. So when they come up and they see your shirt, Jesus sent me, 3 sandwiches, that's clear. They're disarmed because they know that you're doing it as a Christian. You're doing it. You're not asking anything from them. They're going to get their free sandwich. They can see that you're about Jesus. You don't got to say it. You can just show it. They're going to get their sandwiches. So you've bought the sandwiches, you got your waters, you got your napkin, and you do your thing, right? And then you do that. That'll probably take you 20 minutes to get out the sandwiches, maybe not that long, who knows. And then and you'll want to talk with them, and you're not, only bring up Jesus if they do. Don't bring it up if they don't. Focus on relationship development. And then if you do intend to come back again in 2 days, you can say to them, we're going to try our best to be back day after tomorrow, same time, would love to see you, right? Now, you go home, you take your receipts, you take all the information from the day, and then on that same business plan, you're going to write after action remarks, right? And that is, it really did cost us this much, or it cost us a few dollars more. It did take more gas or whatever, but I want you to match up whatever your business plan said you were going to do with what the outcome ended up being, so that you could see it cost more money than we thought or whatever. You also want to put on there, somebody came by and talked to us and found out what we were doing, and they gave us a $20 donation. So you want to include that because that'll offset your cost, right? So you've done your first one, and you're excited about it, right? Your first business plan, your first action stuff. Then just name it business plan 1, feeding the people. Then you're going to get ready for the next one you're going to do. It might be 2 days later, it might be the next weekend, whatever you have time for, however you're going to do this. Before you write your next plan of what you're going to do, and then you're going to, of course, you're going to say how many people you fed and what their remarks were. Oh yeah, and any comments they had, you want to put it in there too. After you do your action report, then I want you to take that document and I want you to share it with some other Christians and say, I want you to see what my new little ministry has done. And I'll tell you about what happened that day and how we were able to talk to people and begin a relationship. And so what I'm looking for is some others who may want to join me and assist me in my ministry. And what I ask is that you can either A, come along and bring an extra $20 so we can buy 20 more hamburgers, or however many your budget allows. So $25 might buy 25 meals, okay? Because your budget will tell you how many meals you'll be able to provide based on how much money somebody gives you. And you could say, well, we'd love for you to come along on that day and provide $25 so we can provide 20 more meals. Or if you don't want to come by and you just want to financially support us, a $25 contribution will allow us to double the number of meals that we gave out that day, right? Now you're building your ministry, and what you have to do that with is your little business plan. This is what our business plan is. This is who we are. This is what we do. This is how we're going to operate. This is what we bought. This is how much it costs. This is what happened. Our after action plan. Then you get a couple contributions from a couple people, and you may also get some volunteers or people that you can pay for $10 to come along. And you make a business plan number 2. Now, some people may say I'm using the word business plan in a different way. That's fine. But there's a reason why I do this. The second time you write it, you're going to account for the donations you had, and you're going to grow the number of people you serve. So you're going to increase this, increase that. You might need to increase if you have to pay somebody, whatever, or you might save money by doing more. And then you get that money and you go out and you do it again. Put your sign up sandwiches, put your shirt on, I'm sent by Christ, and then you give out your sandwiches, and you're going to do it more because you got a little more money, and you may have more people to help you, and you'll have more information. And you're going to see, after just 2 or 3 times doing that, you're going to have several business plans, and you're going to get better at doing it. You're going to show growth in your ministry financially through the plans and what happens, right? You're going to have, say you do it 4 times, you're going to have 4 budgets, you're going to have 4 outcomes, you're going to have statements from people, you're going to have lessons learned. Always put that at the bottom of the business plan after each one. Lessons learned, right? What did we learn? We learned that we should do this, we shouldn't do that, this worked, that didn't work. By the time you do this 4 times, you're going to have more people, more money, more sandwiches handed out in this particular case, more relationships with more people. That is a growing, successful ministry, right? And we did it with a plan. Here's our plan for the first day we're going to go out. Here's what happened after we went out. Here's our plan for the second day based on what happened the day before that we were out, and based on the new volunteers that we're getting, and based on the contributions we're getting. Now this is what's going to be on number 2, and here's number 3. Suddenly I need to buy a cart that I can, like a hot dog cart that I can drag behind my car or my truck. And when I go to buy that, and if I have to borrow the money, I already have all the plans of what's been going on. I have a history. Yeah, this is what we did the first time, third time, 5th time. This is the amount of money. This is the amount of food we're giving. And now we need a food cart to do it, or we need a food truck. And this is our evidence that our ministry is growing and thriving. And these are the lessons we've learned. And this is how we know that we need this. And this is how we know we can support this food truck. See what I'm saying? So these business plans are important because they help you get started, help you be organized, help you write down all the things you need to know, help you create a history of lessons learned and what happened and what people said. But also, when you need these business plans to borrow money or get other help or get larger donations, you have all the evidence you need. You're not just telling a dream that's in your head. You're showing a real story of outreach and ministry. And that can make your ministry grow like crazy, and you're touching people and they're asking you why you're so happy, why you're doing this, and you're telling them about Christ, and you're having relationship, and that is what Christ asks us to do. So I want to thank you for coming by and watching this video today. Please be sure to click on the subscribe button below if you're watching this on YouTube. And I want you to also mark the bell so you get notifications. If you're watching this video somewhere else, head on over to YouTube, to Street Bishops, that channel, and go ahead and subscribe while you're there so that you can get additional videos. And you can come by our Facebook page at Street Bishops. And so we just want to connect with you and hear from you often. You can also write to me at secretary@streetbishops.com. Have a great day, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.